unequivocally rejected the racist assumption of much white American Christianity, namely that God had created the black man inferior and that he had intended Negroes to be a servant class, users of wood and drawers of water. Well, I predicated my view of man on the doctrine of Imago Dei. All men, regardless of color, are created in the image of God. Now, from this premise follow the equality of all men and the brotherhood of all men. The biblical injunction of Acts 17:26 reminds us that he created of one blood all nations of men that dwell on the face of the earth. I was most interested in brotherhood within his own race, because if Negroes are created in God's image and Negroes are black, then God must in some sense be black.
Fresh Radio Vibes and NSMGTNT in association with the State of African Diaspora, SWORD, presents Lumi Matters each Wednesday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hosted by Janet Lovely, International Business Development Officer and a representative for the Lumi via Canada. Learn how the Lumi matters in business, barter exchange, travel investment, saving accountability. Listen to the insiders about Lumi matters each Wednesday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Only on Fresh Radio Vibes. Listen now and stay connected. Lumi matters. Lumi.
No mining in the cockpit country, no mining.
St. Anna, Trelawney, choose life. Bauxite mining will destroy us. Defend your rights and save cockpit country, our health, our heritage. We water and we yam grum. Safeguard our way of life. Reject the 51-49% mining partnership. Them a bad mind.
No mining in the cockpit country, no mining. Jamaica people stand up.
Fresh Radio Vibes and Art presents live each Tuesday the award-winning community show, The Maroon Agenda. Hear about your sovereignty, independence, and human rights. Come be a part of your liberation and unite. The Maroon Agenda. Each Tuesday at 6 p.m. sharp, live on Fresh Radio Bar, with your host, Ras Gannick, the Minister of the Atlantic Islands. Rise up, you mighty people, and listen to the Maroon Agenda.
Stop the fussing and the fighting, brother. Now's the time for uniting. Study the truth. You want the truth? Make sure you can handle the truth. Shoot about the money. Telling you the truth about the money. Yeah. You want to shoot for the money? Only if you know the truth, man. Okay. Shit. In the 1940s. Money and gold were a couple. Yeah. Everything that I work well until America start hustling. The other countries start shuffling, demanding back them gold on the double. Now in a 1971, President Nixon made the money and the gold decouple. Now them money no back to buy nothing, when it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people. Now finally the truth has been told. They make a fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi spending, backed by renewable energy. Lumi, tell you about the Lumi. It's not a fiat, nor a cryptocurrency. It's underwritten by 100 kilowatt hours of solar energy. Shit, convertible to 4 grains of gold. Wait, 0.2592 grams. Now 15.96 US equal to 1. So the money no back to buy nothing, but it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to people. Now finally the truth has been told. Them little fiat currencies, no transparency, no aluminum spending, backed by renewable energy. Shit, I was chosen to shine the light bright on the chosen ones. Yeah, I ain't from the west, from the south, and from the east, man. Africa and not brown. Me no need no US, me no need no pound. You know me down, I'm on the ground. Bro, pull it up again. Study to show yourself approved. You know what I mean? You want to
Fresh Radio Vibes,
make sure you can
the
handle
most feared internet radio station on planet Earth.
Tell you
The
the truth about the
resistance
money.
radio
Yeah.
station.
You want to shoot
Fresh
for the money?
Radio
You don't even know
Vibes.
the truth, man. Shit. In the 1940s, money and gold were a couple. Everything did I work well until America start hustling. The other countries start shuffling, demanding back them gold on the double. Now in the 1971, President Nixon made the money and the gold decouple now. Them money no back to buy nothing, when it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people, now finally the truth has been told. Them make a fiat currencies, no transparency. Now a Lumi spending, backed by renewable energy. Lumi, tell you about the Lumi. It's not a fiat, nor a cryptocurrency. It's underwritten by 100 kilowatt.
That's a grand rising to each and every one right now.
Convertible to 4 grains of gold. Wait, 0.2592 grams. Now a 15.96 US equal to
Lumi matters. Lumi matters right now.
But they keep lying to the people. No, finally the truth has been told. Them little fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi spending, backed by renewable energy.
Sounds of genuine vibes.
Right, and the chosen ones. Yeah, I ain't from the west, from the south.
Genuine vibes.
Africa and not gold. Me no need no US, me no need no pound.
I think our studio engineer is telling us that we have the beautiful Janet Lovely. She is inside the building right now. And I think we're going to be joined by Genuine Vibes. A lot of people think we're just getting up and going right now. Beautiful song right there. And we're going to touch base with none other than the Genuine Vibes himself. You want to give us a little minute? Let us get it all sorted out. We're streaming all over the world, and this is the official radio station for the Maroon Nation without any apology. Yeah, we have earned that badge. Let me just say grand rising to all our Maroon brothers and sisters, because we don't recognize the term black on this platform. We don't call our brothers and sisters black because we are much more inclined. You know, we're more powerful as Maroon. 1738, 285 years, standing strong, and we're not buck shuffling when it comes on to that sort of legacy. Talk about that sort of legacy. Grand Rising Janet, how are you doing on a Wednesday? How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully, Rastas. How are you?
Yes. Let me just say peace and blessings, and another chance for us to enlighten our brothers and sisters about this monumentous occasion, the Lumi, and we're getting great news about that. So, you know, we want to just put it across. We're going to be joined with some of the links that you sent over today. We're going to take time out and join with them. But Janet, I'll allow you to say good evening to your audience and bring us up to scratch with anything you want to put on the jump off. If you want to start off in a minute, I don't know. Janet is still with us? I think she's still with us.
Yes, I am. I have to put it on mute. Yes, so
continue.
Welcome again to each and everyone, and welcome to Lumi Matters. I've been on this journey for almost 3 years, and it's a very exciting journey. Imagine we can now have our own currency, you know, especially with how the world is going. The Lumi came into conception in 2020. It came before that, but it was rolled out in October of 2020, taking us until September of this year. So we started the countdown maybe about, I would say 400 and something days to go. And I'm encouraging each and every one to sign up. However, on the 28th of each month, we're given a 6.26 Lumi deposited into our Swiften. That's the bank that holds this money. And that 6.26 Lumi is given to people of African descent. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. This currency is given to us. It has a conversion rate US of $15.96. So when you do calculate that, you're looking at about $100 US. And if you've been on the journey since its inception, it would mean that you should accumulated maybe about close to $3,000 US value at this time. If not, they don't retro. So if you join now, you're just gonna start now until the end. They don't go back with the currency. The currency is originated out of Jamaica. It was printed in Canada. The mastermind behind this currency is none other than Chief Samako, which is also Timothy McPherson, who was born here. So I'm fortunate in Canada, and also his parents are from the Maroon town in Jamaica, right? So if you need to join on this movement with our own currency, please go to connect.swiffin.com, or you can also join on Eco6. That's eco-6.com. You can go there to sign up. If you're having any challenges, difficulties signing up or joining, reach out to me. I'm on WhatsApp, 647-760-9294.
Grand rising to all our listeners. For those who want to know what is the Lumi currency, who is the founder of the Lumi Bank, how many Lumi are there, and what cryptocurrency does Lumi Wallet support, we're here. Every Wednesday we lend an hour to our listeners to find out about it. I must say that we've been making headways inside some of the questions that been going. As I know, as you may have recalled, we have slated on several occasions that this Lumi is the African Kingdom Lumi, and it was established as a legal tender within the 2014 Bank Act of Akongpong and issued to the public by the Central Solar Reserve Bank of Akongpong as the currency of the sovereign Maroon state of Akongpong. And as you know, when we recognize Akongpong, we say the victory for the Maroons was not just in Akongpong, because Akongpong was a man. That's a place that the place is named after. It is for us as Maroon people. It goes there to say that with its physical banknotes printed in Canada, just as what Janet has said a while ago, the Lumi was created by the then Minister of Finance and founding governor of the Bank of Akongpong, H. Chief Timothy McPherson, who is a global financial engineer that hails from the Maroon territory of Queen Nanny Land of the Maroons on the island that they call Jamaica. I think we premiere a number one song tonight, Janet, from one of our brother out there, Genuine Vibes. He's also sitting right beside Mikey Larry and Mike Larry.
Yeah.
I'm about to bring them on, but before I bring them on, you want to give us a bit of introduction as to that song being made right now. I think it's one of the first Lumi song I'm hearing.
Correct.
Yeah, talk to me about that just unfolded.
Well, we're calling it the Lumi song because it identifies exactly the Lumi and where it's going, what it means for that currency. And this gentleman created that song. It's more like a rapping, but once you hear it, you want to start going, you want to start moving to it. And, funny enough, when I called this evening, Mike said to me, guess who is here? The person who made the Lumi song. I go, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I was able to speak with him first time. and to find out, okay, he created that song. It's a powerful song. I believe if everybody listens to this song, you're going to get it in your head and keep singing it, keep repeating it. And that's part of the message that we're putting out for this Lumi currency. Guys, if you want to just maybe run it again.
Hold on.
So
Yes, I think I have Mike on the line. Before we talk to the artist, which is very, very much informative in this song. Mike, you've just joined us a while ago. My engineer, sorry, my engineer just slipped in a commercial. Mike, Janet was just telling me about the song and Genuine Vibes, but I'll start with you because it was you who I asked for to get some financial insight about what's going on the Lumi, and we had the blessings of having Genuine Vibes here. So, Mike, welcome to Lumi Matters. Introduce yourself and let's hear what's on your mind.
Thanks. Let me first thank the ancestors for bringing all of us together in this time and space.
Yes.
I ran into Genuine Vibes and myself just drove in off of the road, and Janet has been a friend to us, a sister to us on this Lumi project for the last few years. So when she called me and gave me this opportunity, there's no way under the face of the sun that we would, tell her that we wouldn't have the time to sit down with her and talk about these matters, because this matter I feel we matter.
Yes. All right. I know. Let me say, Grand Rising also to Genuine Vibes. Genuine Vibes. Let us hear your vocal cords. No, Grand Rising.
Yes, my brother, Grand Rising, man. It's a pleasure to be here. You know what I mean? Genuine Vibes live.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't take this lightly. First, I want to just thank the ancestors, as Mike said a while ago, and really give thanks for an opportunity like this, brother. Keep the platform going, because this is what more people need to be doing. You know what I mean?
Okay. Every Wednesday we have this platform for dialogue when it comes on to our own currency. We're very much pleased and happy to know that we are developing this kind of financial empire when financial empires are falling left, right, and center. The corporation have failed our people tremendously over the years because we don't own our money. None of our money is printed by us. It's printed by the corporation money is printed by Thomas De La Rue. So we are very much happy to know that the Lumi is ours in all aspects. Now, Mike, tell me a bit about yourself before we get into this song, because you are spearheading a lot of things when it comes down to the Lumi. Give us some insight about your job.
Yes, man. Thanks for that, and that's a real good way to bring me forward, because as you say, I do wear many caps. But as it relates to Lumi, I was brought onto the project and sat and wore the cap of two areas as the marketing director and the IT director for Jamaica Lumineers. Still going, and the work starts there from day one when we decided to put this together, to have the clarity, our brothers and sisters, to understand what it means to have our own money. Not necessarily our currency, but our own money, and we'll be able to trade among each other with our brothers and sisters on the continent without the intervention of any one government, one person who think that me, Mike Larry, should not trade with somebody in Ghana, and we can exchange, with our own, currency backed by gold, as Genuine Vibes clearly, depict that for you, so you can hear that clearly, that this is backed by gold, right down to the grain and the amount of grain that is backed by each currency.
I love that so much. And people, you hear we emphasize on the backing of this currency, because I think a lot of people, they were not too keen on us saying that it's a solar based energy, which a lot of people don't understand. When we say solar, it is the greatest energy right now, and if we can tap into it, we are going to harness a lot of energy that we are taking for granted. Now, Janet has been pushing this on the the world stage for a while. Mike, your involvement with Janet and the rest of the players. I'd like, from your point of view, to explain to our listeners how is it important for us to gather around this momentum, to actually do bargaining, buying stuff, trading, as you mentioned a while ago, in other territories under our own currency. How important is that for us?
Well, thanks. That's a great question. Thanks for that question, because it will allow me to depict the difference with what we have as our Lumi currency. And just to clear the air, when people mention cryptocurrency, we tend to try to bring both of the currency together, which is our currency versus the Lumi, the cryptocurrency. It's entirely different, and we just have to state that clear. The Lumi is backed by gold. Yes. Cryptocurrency isn't. And the Lumi itself, the African Kingdom Lumi, have an underlying value. Mm-hmm. And if you want to do the maths, me like do the maths, So when we tell people, say, listen, this is 4 grains of gold, $3.99. Just go look it up. Wow. That's the value of each grain of gold. You understand?
Yes.
So we get down to the meat of the matter so people can understand why is it so important to have a currency or our own money so that among ourselves. Let's use Zimbabwe for an example. Look at what Zimbabwe is today. Look at the value of its currency today. This is what happens when you have other players who determine your currency and print, as you said earlier, and they print your currency. They determine the inflation rate of your currency. When you have recession, they determine the whole of that game that has over the years has stepped on our people. We have all the value when it comes on to producing oil. You name all the mineral that comes out of the continent. And everywhere these value of minerals are, the money and the currency that is used there is devalued. So none of us, our brothers and sisters, are allowed to trade and play into this market that they keep saying is fair game. Mm-hmm. So one of the first things we looked at when we looked at the Lumi, the Kingdom Lumi, and its establishment since 2014, is that it was issued by a central solar reserve bank, which we the people own.
Not the corporation.
Not the corporations.
Yes.
I know they're going to track me. They're going to try and track me after this, but I really don't care about broad enough. It's our time now where we as a people start to track them.
Yes. I just want to emphasize to our listeners that although the first AKL Lumi were printed in 2016 for the use within a compound town since 2020, the Lumi has been adopted as the official currency by numerous government bodies, including the economic community of the state, nation, territories, and realms of the African diaspora, the sixth region, the Eco-6, the state of the African diaspora, and the African Kingdom Federation, the United Kingdom of Africa, and the African Diaspora Central Bank. People may be asking, let me just try to get Janet inside where we are right now, because we are seeing some things unfold when it comes on to finance, and cryptocurrency is digital currency. And Janet, the development that has been happening surrounding the SSL have a lot of people concerned that this digital robbery, that, if for a better word that we may call it, by the Corporation of Jamaica with Usain Bolt, that is shining a positive light on the Lumi. Yes or no?
I'm going to agree, yes, because, he trusted that SSL with his funds or his money. And then for some reason, and I read an article yesterday, they were saying that the money were taken out a long time ago. It's not just now. I think they're saying about 2 or 3 years after he invested that money, it was moved. I think it was in an article in today's Jamaica Observer or yesterday. So yes, we now should have another source, I believe, to put our money. And first of all, I must say the Lumi, we're not investing anything in it. We never put a cent in it. It was given to us for free. Mike and I guess Genuine Vibes can attest. We've never put a dollar. They never asked us for a cent from the inception till now that it's rolled out. We have never put in a dollar. So to me, we have nothing to lose. We're going to gain, but nothing to lose. So yes, I believe that that is the way that we should go.
Mike, you heard the question that I threw over to Janet. Your take on all of this spin, because the Bank of Jamaica seems to be a scamming mechanism now overall, because we're even seeing where the Prime Minister of Jamaica had some involvement with the SSL, members of Parliament, and other big shots. As I said to Janet, does this present an opportunity and another way for us to activate our finance in a positive way? The Lumi.
Thanks for the question, and it's really a good question with that, but I'm happy you allow me to speak a little on it.
Yes.
I remember it was last year, Janet, I think it was our year before last, 2021, when the Bank of Jamaica issued their advisory, a public advisory, and stating that the year before last, that they have no association to this currency, and this currency has nothing to do with their territory. No, it was put together using the English words safely, so that many of us who read in depth would clearly understand that the bank is speaking in its own rights. You understand? And you can't take that from them. But what we, the people, are here saying is that this currency, the Lumi, the merge of this Lumi to our black brothers and sisters on the continent, so that we'll be able to trade and trade fairly without the intervention of any other central bank, jeopardizing our trade, causing recession on our money, inflation on our money. Look at what, and I keep reiterating it, I'm encouraging all the listeners to go look at Zimbabwe currency today and see what types of note they have to be printed, and the value of those currency that they have there in Zimbabwe is exactly what will take place when a country or some countries decided that the resources that you have in your space, we need it, and we don't want you to do anything about it as a people. And we are saying, as Africa is saying today, as Africans we're saying, we, the descendants of the African continent, which now they call us diaspora. I told my friend the other day that I don't like that word, because I've yet to go look it up in terms of really look at that word diaspora to see if it's really a good word for us to be using, because we have to be very careful how we word things and these kind of words that we used to use as black people from the continent. But to go back to the point, that when the central bank issued that, it sent me further to go look at the privilege a people have when they choose to use a particular currency for trade. And I'm going to say it, if we choose to use some banana leaf, Janet, to trade, there's nothing to stop us if the people come together and decide to use banana leaf to trade.
Yes.
There's nothing by law to stop us to do that. So I was a bit drawn back to see the BOJ came up with their advisory in April 2021, with their advisory to send a kind of warning out one against the Lumi for business. We saw that as the gatekeepers realizing.
But can I before I go to commercial break, we must remind our brothers and sisters that the reason why Chief Timothy McPherson held firm to even the place called Okonkpong Town, it is to let each and everyone know that the jurisdiction of the Maroon for the 1738 treaty is much higher than the Bank of Jamaica 1962 so-called independence, as far as the Jamaica Corporation go. And I need our people, as I said before, we are Maroons calling ourselves Jamaicans, and we have to do this thing properly. So I think what the Bank of Jamaica tried to intimidate us always as an agent of the crown is to curtail our sovereignty, and that will not take place. Just before I go to break, and the currency is only one banknote, which represents one Lumi. In 2021, the African Diaspora Central Bank, the ADCB, reported a total of $1.1 trillion in transaction between Africa and the global diaspora using Lumi. This is equal to more than a third of the total GDP for continental Africa, as US $2.7 trillion in 2021. Let that soak in for a bit. Let me get this commercial break, and then we will have a small chat with Genuine Vibes about all these information that he has packed into this one song. Keep it right here to Lumi Matters. Don't touch the dial.
Fresh Radio Vibes and NSMGTNT in association with the State of African Diaspora, SOAD, presents Lumi Matters each Wednesday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Hosted by Janet Lovely, International Business Development Officer and a representative for the Lumi via Canada. Learn how the Lumi matters in business, barter exchange, travel investment, saving accountability. Listen, insiders. Lumi Matters each Wednesday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Only on Fresh Radio Vibes. Listen now and stay connected. Lumi Matters. Lumi Matters.
Study to show yourself approved. You know what I mean? You want the truth? Make sure you can handle the truth. Shoot about the money. Telling you the truth about the money. Yeah. You want to shoot for the money? Only if you know the truth, man. Okay. Shit. In the 1940s, money and gold were a couple. Yeah. Everything did I work well until America start hustling. The other countries start shuffling, demanding back them gold on the double. Now in a 1971, President Nixon made the money and the gold decouple now. Them money no back to buy nothing, when it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people. Now finally the truth has been told. Them make a fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi we spending, backed by renewable energy. Lumi, tell you about the Lumi. It's not a fiat, nor a cryptocurrency. It's underwritten by 100 kilowatt hours of solar energy. Shit, convertible to 4 grains of gold. Wait, 0.2592 grams. Now a 15.96 US equal to 1. So the money no back to buy nothing, but it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people. Now finally the truth has been told. Them little fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi we spending, backed by renewable energy. Shit, I was chosen to shine the light bright on the chosen ones. Yeah, I ain't from the west, from the south.
Thank you so much for joining us live here on Fresh Radio Vibes, your number one online radio station. We're beaming all the way from the place they call the United States. We call it Morocco. Yeah, we know our earth set already. We've got this territory all locked up. Remember that is also brought to you by the Nyanka Pong Global Territory. You know what I mean? And this government is a global government. I want to big up all my Maroon brothers and sisters who are locked on right now. The sounds of Genuine Vibes. Genuine Vibes, I think he's here with us. We need to hear his side of the story. Genuine Vibes, Grand Rising again. Let's get this this bio from you, because this song is very informative. We've just added to our playlist. Tell us a bit about you and your talent that you have brought to the Maroon ancestors.
Yes, Ras Gadites, right? I got the name right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, Ras Gadites, my lord.
Yeah, man. Well, Genuine Vibes, Ras, is all about, I'm all about being a team player. And I believe in getting in where you fit in. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And as a musician, and put words together, that come easy. That's like second nature to me.
Yes.
You get me? But before I go any further, I just want to say, I would like to really authorize this song, you can use it.
Thank
you know what I mean?
Thank you.
As a means of really getting people involved. You know what I mean? You can use it anytime you want. You know what I mean?
Use it to your team song
Yes,
program.
I will definitely. I will.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this song it came about. Mike gave me some information. You know, Mike is an information genius and him have a lot of information. You know what I mean? And he told me about it, introduced me to the Lumi. And I did my own research, you know what I mean, and just put the song together. I believe in getting to the point. I didn't beat around the bushes. You know, I had the beat before. I would just produce a track, put it together. You know, anyone could really understand exactly what the Lumi is about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, found out about the Lumi being backed by gold and all the others were like fiat currencies, and we just put it together. You know what I mean?
Yes. This song, as what you've just said a while ago, it's one of the first songs that has really come across our desk that has the details and the meat of the matter. And we're hoping that this song can, as we just said a while ago, become a blueprint for information as far as the Lumi goes. Now, I know that this is a contribution, yes, as far as the Lumi, but tell us a bit about your artistic skills. You know what I mean? I know you didn't just pop up out of the blues. Tell us a bit about yourself. Yes.
Well, Russ, whoa. A great question. I have a deep back in my memory. You know what I mean? But I've been doing music ever since, man. It's a passion. It's not just like a career to me. You know what I mean? As the name Genuine Vibes suggests, I keep things real all the time. I don't do certain songs. I don't really dabble in certain content. I'm about liberation and building up my black brothers and my sisters, my ancestral lineage. You know what I mean? And over the years, we've been putting songs together, but in the industry, it is with all these gatekeepers and all these people. You know what I mean? Yes, and right now, we just I have a song right now named The Ancestral Drums. I can send it that, maybe you can listen to that after the program. And it's all about, because I believe in genetic memory in us. Yes, sometimes we feel a sort of way, ancestors speaking directly to us in some way, shape, or form. Yes. And I just use that talent, and just put things together. It's been like more than 10 years now, man, doing this music, man. Marvelous. You know what I mean? So we ain't stopping using it, because I believe that music is one of the most powerful and potent tool, because people learn songs before persons who can't even read and write. Definitely. You know what I mean? Connect to music. Yeah. So we can use this, to really gather the people.
Someone is asking how the production, who produced this song that you've sent out to us?
All right, Ross, it's all about ownership, Yes, and this track was produced definitely by Genuine Vibes. My production label name is Planet Music Dynasty the First.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Good.
And we did everything. I have a composer who create the beat, Jupiter Redman, big up yourself anyway.
Written by you, of course.
Yeah, man, of course, totally.
Good. The reason why we're asking, because, we as Maroons have to own our sovereignty, both physically, spiritually, and mentally, so we want to get that right. And I think we may have an opportunity to chat more about you in the near future, because this is going to be added to our playlist. And as we just said a while ago, I'm going to make it into this theme song for the Lumi. We're here tonight to chat about the Lumi, and of course you're listening to Genuine Vibes. You've just heard his song a while ago, the Lumi song. And talking about the Lumi, the decision to promote Lumi as a global African currency was first publicly announced to the world by H.M. Rec Samuka I and VI Chief Timothy L. Shah McPherson during the 2018 Intra-African Trade Fair in Cairo, Egypt, which was promoted by the African Export-Import Bank and the African Union. I've reached out to Chief, but I know that he's very busy. I know he listens to us every Wednesday. And you could say, Mike, you were trying to say something?
No, I'm saying, he would be very, very busy, because he was on the continent a few weeks ago and we spoke with him.
Yes.
And prior to that, he was actually here. So for quite a few of us here in Jamaica, we got the privilege to sit down with him, spend a couple of days around him, and really understood what it meant to really have our own currency. And you mentioned something just earlier, and I would like to just emphasize on that. You mentioned the word ownership.
Yes.
The majority of our Black brothers and sisters needs to be educated in that field to understand what it means of ownership. Because when you bring that to the table, it changed the whole game. It changed the entire game when you come to the game as an owner of a particular.
Yes.
It changes everything.
But I'm talking to you, Mike, for the first time, and I've spoken to Chief. What sort of individual? Because most of us, when we say owner, people, because we use Chief Timothy McPherson as a founding father, but he's a sharing founding father, because he could have been selfish and said, "Hey, I'm going to all of this," but he put it under the auspices of the Maroon and the 1738 stand that we has as a marker for our own destiny. Our own destiny was cut out from that time and even before. But tell me a bit about the Chief and your perspective about him.
Well, put it this way. He's as far as and this is my perspective of him, he's a genius before his time. Yes. When he engineered and created this, I'm sure he sat down for months to figure out the script as to where he would place it to protect it so that we will have the ownership of it, because there's hardly anything we as Black people can put out there that we will forever have ownership of it. Our the patent companies are not owned by us. It's one of my voice with SOAD and Echo 6 to look into to patent company, because we have so many talents like Genuine Vibes, and I'm sure when Genuine Vibes goes through the process to register his music, to have ownership of his music, to even go as far as patenting his music, he's going to patent it into a company that we don't own it. So these are some of the stuff that I look at from my perspective to see when Chief Samaka put this money down as the inception of the creativeness of what his genius, what he came with, was to put it in a place where they would not be able to touch it.
Yes. Very, very.
Like that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, very, very, very strong momentum. The monetary policy for the Lumi, our monetary policy is to maintain the strength and integrity of the African global currency, the Lumi, to limit the negative inflammatory impact that fiat currency have within the global African economy. As you just heard a while ago, Mike is saying that we are very much included on the global corporation stage, but the ownership of our resource through economic financial institution, it boils down to the Procter & Gamble and of course the Thomas Delarue, who is printing those notes. More than 650 million Africans lack access to electricity. There's a reason why we tie the Lumi into the solar. People, as I said before, we're going to get guests on to show you exactly where we're providing infrastructure like solar panel. And when you get your solar panel and you get that energy from the sun, we turn that energy into the Lumi. You can sell your Lumi. Should I say, Janet, remind us as to how much one Lumi is going for on the world stage, because a lot of people are thinking that this is a chump change. It is almost $17, I think, Janet, to one Lumi. Could you correct me on that?
No, it's 15.96.
Wow.
$15.96 US.
So
for one Lumi.
For one Lumi. So when you trade a pound, you trade a US dollar, you trade a Cayman Islands dollar, all of these dollars, they are underneath the Lumi. The Lumi is one of the strongest trading currency right now as we speak, and we need to get it. Janet, bring us up to scratch when people have to sign up, because I know we've been over this part quite a few times, but remind them how to get on board. They're listening us right now.
sorry. Basically, everyone, you can go to connect.swiffin.com. So that's connect. Swiffin is SWIFIN. So connect.swiffin.com. That's one portal you can sign on to register or sign up for the Lumi. The next portal is Eco6, which is the economic harm of all this. And you can go there to sign up, access the Lumi as there as well. Again, it's $15.96. When you register every month on the 28th of the month, you have the 6.26 Lumi is deposited into an account. So you can't get that unless you signed up. But there's more to the Lumi than what it is. The Lumi, as Mike had said, is a gateway to get us into resources and many things that are happening on the continent. First and foremost, check out the State of African Diaspora. That is the government. That is another way. If you go on there, you'll see there's a page for currency. You can also check that out. A lot of things happening, reparation, repatriation, restitution, and it all takes us through this currency. So keep that in mind. Don't just think about the currency. The currency is one way, but Africa is building, and it's taking us to a different level. So keep that in mind. I believe in another few years, we're gonna see a lot happening on the continent.
Yeah, and if I
go ahead, Mike.
To add to what Janet was explaining, that the Lumi is just a small part of the framework of the SOAD organization, the State of the African Diaspora. So people should just go online and look that up. They have their own framework of governance and government as it relates to operating in that space as the sixth region. The continent itself have 5 regions, and the 6th region is called the diaspora. So all of us who are descendants is considered to be this under that umbrella of the 6th region. So we will be able to trade among the 6th region with all the other regions that are scattered on the continent itself, to trade with our brothers and sisters without no intervention of any other global central banks interfering by, you know how they operate. They have so many fees. By the time we decided to trade, we can't afford. So all of that is eliminated with SOAD. So I implore most persons who love to do research, go look up the State of the African Diaspora, and you'll realize that they do have their entire framework as to how they operate in their own space. And they're also, I think they're also amended, don't quote me, but I think they're also authorized by the AU.
Yes.
The African to operate in.
I am here on the eco6.com page, people, and I would encourage you to go over there. There's a lot about the Lumi, and as we said a while ago, not only about the Lumi, the states, nation, territories, and realms of the African diaspora, the eco6 economic community. You can check out about the member state, the House of Kings, our bank, secretariat, the Lumi currency. But there's also some strong wording right here that we want to take in mind. It says that our monetary policy is fixed around the Lumi standard, wherein each Lumi note is underwritten by 100 WH of solar energy and pegged against 4 grams of gold. A reminder. This policy allow our global African currency to come back against carbon emission while achieving both meaningful economic transformation and monetary prowess. This is another concern where we're looking at people where we have 2 options. You can get your digital Lumi, as what we've been encouraging you to get, but also there's a physical Lumi. There's actually a note, $8 note, and I think right now we're under the threat of eradicating paper money. It's in the pipeline by the corporation. The Lumi is the only one who is pledging to maintain paper money, and we're doing it out of concern for planet Earth also. Explain that to me, Larry, because a lot of people don't see when we say where this currency is combating against carbon emission.
Well, let me be honest with you. I've not dived into that aspect of it because the Lumi itself has so much different facet to it in terms of its operation. I tend to spend more time in the actual marketing area of it to make sure that we do get it out there into our brothers and sisters. And I'd have to probably try and set up another meeting with you or another interview with you, Timothy McPherson himself, to dive into it, the depth of it, to explain to you so you'll have that kind of an understanding. But for me, the digital use of it would, for me, far exceed the reach that we make certain that our brothers and sisters on the continent will be able to trade with me here in Jamaica. Let's say right now I'm here and I want some shea butter to move some products that I want to do here in Jamaica. I can trade directly with my brothers and sisters. The paperback currency would somewhat limit me right now because, I would have to probably fly to the continent to have that transaction going. I can sit right here in the comfort of my own home, have this dialogue with the person there in the continent, let's say Ghana, and trade with them seconds. The seconds we decide to agree on this transaction, seconds this person would have that money in their wallet and will be able to use it, to furnish whatever materials they want, raw materials they want to buy there on the continent. And I would have my products coming through the shipping cargo, waiting for it in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks.
Marvelous.
So the digital use of it, when the establishment of the digital use of it would for me would far exceed the paper printing of this money. And just to reiterate that the digital currency backed by gold, 4 grains of gold, go look it up how much 4 grains of gold, $3.99 US is what got me interested to look at what we were doing here, because when I learned that the only real money you have on the planet, it must be backed by some underlying value, whether it's going to be oil, gold, or something else. I quickly started to learn about fiat currency. I was surprised that fiat currency lasts this long.
Yes. Well, one of the main things what we're trying to encourage our brothers and sisters is that, the options for people have to remain available. And why I think the Lumi in its natural form, as far as the paper, is, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they are in some underdeveloped situation as to the regions that they are. And as far as the technological advancement is going, we have to bear in mind that some of our brothers and sisters are not yet at that crossroad. And I think that sort of caringness from the Lumi orchestrators says a lot about the compassion for our people and the growth that we need to collectively embrace. I want to take this time out to shout out to Sivas, I think it is, the vice president, H.E. Servias. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. He is the vice president. We had a chat with him. He's also working to get Timmy to come aboard. He is very much an humble individual. And, it's just a pleasure to work with brothers and sisters who can have a sight beyond sight. Our people are suffering because of knowledge. And the Lumi, when it first came out, a lot of people, because of ignorancy, they tend to shun from it. But we have to provide opportunity for the next generation so they can have it more easier, for a better word, to survive in this harsh economic platform that we're standing on right now. But Janet, we have about 6 more minutes. Anything that you want to touch on before I go over back to the artist Genuine Vibes, because I have one last question to ask him. But Janet, anything that we didn't touch on that you want to highlight this week?
Not really, because Mike explained the very well, but I just wanted to say that Mike were one of the first persons when we had the Lumi who started to do trading on his platform out of Jamaica. And he trade marketing services. I'm not sure if he's should be still on that where he's trading with the Lumi.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And just to add this, that every single person who is in the digital space to provide services in the digital space have no reason why they can't accept Lumi as a method of payment. That's one of the first things I stamped out. I'm a graphics artist. I'm into marketing, digital marketing and all that stuff. I just quickly just zeroed everything from fiat currency and just made, I think Janet got one of the first flyers when I made that flyer and pushed it out there that I'm now only accepting Lumi currency for my service.
Wow. We are gonna continue. We are gonna chat some more. Of course, our brother on the continent of Africa, Mr. Savaras, just said that he loves the discussion that is going on. Hopefully next week we can get him and the chief on, or the vice president, Cassandra Wall. She's also part of the African Diaspora Central Bank, and we're gonna have we're continuing to give the knowledge, because our people suffer because of the lack of knowledge. So we're going to keep pushing this momentum and get it forward. I have 4 more minutes, and I want to ask Genuine Vibes this question. Genuine Vibes, do you have your Lumi account?
Definitely, my brother. You don't hear my name, man. Genuine Vibes. I can't be talking about Lumi from outside, bro. Come on, Ras.
Yeah. What as an ambassador, official ambassador now within the music industry, what would you suggest for your fellow artists, entertainers that are listening right now? What would you say to them?
Well, I would say to them that change starts from the mind. So they have to do their research, you know what I mean, and get on board and start the change. Don't watch the bigger picture and say, a lot of people not talking about this. You start it. Everything, if it's gonna be, it's up to me. You know what I mean? So for every artist coming up, just get on board. This is ownership, not just for an individual person. This is a part of our street. And I'm not saying history, our street, not his story.
Our story.
Yeah.
Our story.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that link. Last but not least, Janet has just said a while ago that Mikey has really pouring a lot of knowledge tonight. There's so much other things I want to ask you, but I know that you will be a guest again on our show. As far as merchandise, I would love for our brothers and sisters to remember that we're celebrating 285. I do have the cups, the t-shirt, the key rings, everything to do with our Maroon celebration of the 1738 treaty that was signed by our ancestors. And of course, Mike, I will leave you with the last word. What do you want to say to your brothers and sisters who are listening you right now promoting the Lumi?
Well, first, let me shout out to Mr. Hugh Johnson, the man that holds the torch for the Jamaican leg, for the Lumi. He started it here, and he was instrumental in putting together the group of us, which include myself and many others of my brothers and sisters who are here in Jamaica. Jamaica Lumineers team, the Jamaica Lumineers Secretariat team that took this vision from day one, and we have started this out to run with it. We were the visionaries behind it. We created an entire team and an organization here in Jamaica, the Jamaica Lumineers Secretariat, and Mr. Johnson spearheaded it with also Mr. Clifton Brown. Yeah, those two gentlemen must, at some point in time, we must have some statue here in Jamaica to represent those two persons that they themselves devoted their time and effort.
Mike,
certain
can I give you a mission? Those two names that you've mentioned, we're going to have a dialogue for this week so we can have them on our program. I need to have these documentation on our program so the next generation cannot be fooled, but know that this was created by the kings.
Yes, man, definitely. Two kings.
Two
You're right.
kings. Yes. And once again, I want to thank all our panel tonight, the beautiful Janet Lumley. Remember, she is an international business developer. If you want any sort of development with your business, give her a call. And of course, Mike Henry. But I would be rude. Remind us how to get in contact. I'll allow everyone to do that for me. Starting with Mike, how can one get in contact to get some more information from you?
Well, Johnny can tell you, I'm so diverse. I'm all over the internet. You can probably find me on, you could find me on Instagram. You could find me at Mike Larry Media Press. I have my own little hero, which I have always said ownership is important. Marcus Garvey teaches that.
Yes.
So I have my own hero where I can do my own writing and publishing and all that stuff. And I'm on Instagram. So that's Mike Larry Media Press. You could just type that in there and you'd find me.
Of course, let's Genuine Vibes, how do they follow you? How do they keep contact with you?
Well, Genuine Vibes Music, we spell music MUZIKK. So that's GENUINEVYBZ Music. Everywhere. Instagram, we're on YouTube. You can just follow us. Right now, we have a brand new EP out. I just want to slide that in. Named Get to Know Me.
Yes.
With a lot of talk about Africa on it and all about liberation.
Good. My host, Janet, of course, last but not least, how do the people remind them of how to stay in contact with you again as we go out?
Okay, so I can be reached on WhatsApp, 647-760-9299. And also, I just want to say, coming together, working together, we'll all achieve.
Marvelous. Marvelous. This is yours truly, Russ Gadites, and this is where we're going to leave it for this week. Of course, Lumi Matters is every single Wednesday from 6 until 7. A rebroadcast will be played after the show, so you can listen in your own sweet time via our dial and be a part of it. This is yours truly, Russ God. I say I love you, my brothers. I love you, my sisters. Most importantly, the Almighty God that created heaven and earth love you even more. If you cannot be good, be careful. This is Genuine Vibes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Study to show yourself approved. You know what I mean? You want the truth? Make sure you can handle the truth. Shoot about the money. Telling you the truth about the money. Yeah. You want to shoot for the money? Only if you know the truth, man. Okay. Shit. In the 1940s, money and gold were a couple. Yeah. Everything did I work well until America start hustling. The other countries start shuffling, demanding back them gold on the double. Now in 1971, President Nixon made the money and the gold decouple now. Them money not back to buy nothing, when it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people. Now finally the truth has been told. Them make a fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi be spending, backed by renewable energy. Lumi, tell you about the Lumi. It's not a fiat, nor a cryptocurrency. It's underwritten by 100 kilowatt hours of solar energy. Shit, convertible to 4 grains of gold. Wait, 0.2592 grams. No, a 15.96 US equal to. So the money not back to buy nothing, but it used to be back to buy gold. But they keep lying to the people. Now finally the truth has been told. Them little fiat currencies, no transparency. No Lumi be spending, backed by renewable energy. Shit, I was chosen, shining light bright on the chosen ones. Yeah, I ain't from the west, from the south, and from the east, man. Africa, I'm not wrong. You know, me no need a pound. The Lumi dollars put diamonds on the crown. I don't give a damn who on the throne, cause I'm not small, I'm fully grown. Hey, the money not back to buy nothing. When it used to be back to buy gold, but they keep lying to the people. Now finally the truth has been told. Them little friends, no transparency. No Lumi spending back.
Radio Bar GTNT in association with the State of African Diaspora, SOAD, presents Lumi Matters each Wednesday Wednesday to 7 p.m. Hosted by Janet Lovely, International Business Development Officer and a representative for the Lumi via Canada. Learn how the Lumi matters in business, barter exchange, travel investment, saving accountability. Listen to the insiders about Lumi Matters each Wednesday at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Only on Freshradiovybz. Listen now and stay connected. Lumi Matters. Lumi.